Shedeur Sanders could be on his way out of the Cleveland Browns and heading west to the NFC. Maybe Shedeur Sanders can find success away from Cleveland, a franchise known for burying the careers of several quarterbacks. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders is undoubtedly one of the most popular rookies without having played a single NFL snap, and this Friday, all eyes will be on his performance in the preseason game against the Carolina Panthers. A true test for the player fighting for a spot with the Cleveland Browns. The competition the former Colorado Buffaloes star faces is against Dillon Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, and Joe Flacco. But this is a golden opportunity to showcase his skills in full game action. A complicated situation for Shedeur Sanders. The quarterback is in a tough spot where he could even be cut from the team before the NFL season begins, as he's listed as the fourth quarterback on the initial unofficial depth chart. But amidst the gloom of his situation, a glimmer of hope emerges that could signify a fresh start for his professional career. A proposed trade to the Los Angeles Rams. Analyst Nick Wright suggests that the Browns trade Shedeur Sanders before the roster cuts are finalized on August 27th, with the Los Angeles Rams as the potential destination. If I'm Shedeur, I am hoping beyond hope I get 3 quarters, that I look decent, and the Los Angeles Rams call the Cleveland Browns so I can be their third-string quarterback, Wright said. And for the Rams, it gives you a chance to maybe have an answer at quarterback, even if it's a long shot after this year, if this does end up being Stafford's last year. Under this scenario, there wouldn't be an immediate opportunity to start with Matthew Stafford and Jimmy Garoppolo ahead, but Sanders could compete against Stetson Bennett for a solid position to develop as a player and learn from the best. It's worth noting that Sanders' youth, at 23 years old, works in his favor. And the fact that Stafford's contract expires after the 2026 season should also be considered. It was a rainy morning in Cleveland when the whispers began to echo down the hallways of the Browns' practice facility in Berea. The whispers didn't carry the usual weight of trade rumors or minor quarterback shuffles. No, this one had a spark to it. A name. A destination. A future unraveling before the season even truly began. Shedeur Sanders. The rookie phenom. The son of Coach Prime. The young quarterback who brought swagger, intelligence, and a social media following larger than half the league. And now, he could be on the move. Not just any move. A westward move. To the NFC. The fallout in Cleveland. When Shedeur Sanders was drafted by the Cleveland Browns, it was hailed as a bold, forward-looking move. Joe Flacco was aging. Kenny Pickett was inconsistent. Dillon Gabriel was a project. Shedeur? He was the potential future. A cerebral, poised quarterback who had carved defenses apart at Colorado under the bright lights of Deion Sanders' coaching. He came into camp with more cameras in his face than completions on his stat sheet. But when the lights came on, he delivered. Or at least he tried to. Reports surfaced of internal tension, not between Shedeur and his teammates, but between the quarterback room and the coaching staff. Kevin Stefanski's offense, known for its precision, timing, and run-heavy schemes, wasn't exactly built to showcase Sanders' improvisational brilliance. There were murmurs that Shedeur's voice wasn't being heard in game-planning meetings. That he wanted autonomy, not chaos, but creativity. And then came the Panthers' preseason opener. Shedeur started as promised. But after 2 series, he was benched. Not because of injury. Not because of poor play. But because the Browns wanted to evaluate other guys. Insiders saw it differently. Something's brewing. One AFC executive told a reporter off the record. This kid doesn't sit unless someone's picking up the phone. The NFC connection. The rumor mill ignited. One team was mentioned more than others, the Los Angeles Rams. It made sense. Sean McVay, the youngest coaching wizard of this era, was nearing the twilight of the Matthew Stafford chapter. They had no clear successor. The Rams had dabbled with other backup plans, but nothing long-term had materialized. Shedeur, with his Hollywood-ready charisma and fast-release arm, would be a perfect fit in McVay's play-action-heavy system. Pair him with Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and Karen Williams, and suddenly the Rams looked like a young team ready for a bold reboot. And it wasn't just the Rams circling. The Seattle Seahawks had questions behind Geno Smith. The San Francisco 49ers, while committed to Brock Purdy, always kept a foot in the market for high-upside talent. Even the Arizona Cardinals, with uncertainty swirling around Kyler Murray's long-term health, were watching from afar. But it was Los Angeles that kept popping up. Shedeur's social media activity didn't help. A subtle like on an Instagram post featuring a Rams uniform edit of himself. His close friend, Jimmy Horn Jr., even posted a cryptic message. Bro out west would be cold. Horn quickly deleted the post. But it was too late. The spark was lit. A father's shadow. Through it all, one name remained quietly looming, Deion Sanders. Coach Prime wasn't involved in the Browns organization, but his influence was undeniable. Shadur had grown under his father's guidance, played under his expectations, and excelled beneath his spotlight. Now, removed from that gravitational pull, there were signs Shadur felt untethered. He missed the family support, the structure, the creative freedom. He wasn't looking for favoritism, he was looking for fit. Privately, sources claimed Deion had been counseling his son to stay focused, but had also made calls to contacts in the league. Quiet inquiries, friendly chats, planting seeds. One such seed may have sprouted in Los Angeles. The move that could change everything. The Browns hold the keys. And right now they're in a tricky spot. If they trade Shadur, they'll face scrutiny. Fans who have latched onto him, as the future will revolt. But if they don't trade him, and keep stifling his development in a system that doesn't suit his game, they risk wasting a generational talent. A proposed deal floating around league circles looks something like this. To the Rams, Shedeur Sanders, 2026 fifth-round pick. To the Browns, 2025 second-round pick, backup QB Stetson Bennett, and conditional incentives. It's not a blockbuster on the surface, but it sends a message. The Rams are planning their next decade, not just their next season. A new legacy in LA? If Shadur lands in LA, it's not just about football. It's about brand. It's about culture. It's about story. The kid who came from Boulder, lived under Deion's legacy, took the draft spotlight by storm, and then got buried in Cleveland. Suddenly becomes the face of football in Hollywood. The Rams' bright lights. The media. The film opportunities. The red carpets. And yes, the chance to play his brand of football. McVay and Shadur could be a creative match made in heaven. Motion-heavy offense. Designed rollouts. Quick reads with freedom to improvise. Let the kid ball.